I'm usually a man of a lot of words. Like I usually have a lot to say. And I probably still do, but it's just like right now I'm a little speechless, man.
I was gonna make a reaction video on Sunday's game. There's not really much to react to, but we'll get into that game when we get to the team.
Yeah.
Um,
Welcome to Pick Six, where we cover 6 teams in the NFL, that being the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Niners, the Packers, the Rams, and of course, our beloved Steelers.
yeah.
And we'll definitely get to that because that's a 2-in-1 package right there. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Eric, what do we got, man, coming up in week number 2 as we also recap the first week?
We have the Las Vegas Raiders walking into Buffalo to face the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders are undefeated, 1-0, coming off a win against the Broncos. And the Buffalo Bills are 0-1, coming off a loss against the Jets. We'll get a little bit more into that later because we are covering the Jets this week. But what do you have on this one?
Look, the Raiders started pretty much like I was expecting them to start. I like Jimmy G. I do, man. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. All right. My only concern with him is he going to stay healthy?
Yeah.
That is it. If he does stay healthy, I think the Raiders can do some good things. Maybe, possibly, okay? Don't mistake what I'm saying.
Okay.
Possibly even win that division. Okay? If he stays healthy, possibly they can win that division. All right. Great game against the Broncos, by the way, man. I really enjoyed the heck out of that game. By the way, I did get the YouTube Sunday ticket. So it's been one heck of a time, man. But okay, so now, well, you break down what you saw, man, because I look, they went in there, man, and they came out with the victory. So
you said you're a man of few words. I am a man of few words, and you're making those words, less and less. Did you just say that the Raiders could win the division over Kansas City?
Yes, okay. Yes, they can.
That's a they can. Really hot.
Okay, everybody remember what I said. Okay, remember what I said. So when the Raiders are over there competing for the AFC West, remember what you heard right here. All right.
That's not happening, but I like your spirit. You're high on the Raiders for once.
I said cool. Possibly.
I said possibly. Okay. They're going into Buffalo. Records are a bit deceiving here. Raiders played a Broncos team that I don't know where they sit. I know I somewhat have high hopes for the Broncos. Am I saying that they'll go toe-to-toe with Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending champs? No. But they're going up against the Bills, Josh Allen in Buffalo. I don't see the Raiders coming out on this one. If they win, then my hopes for the Raiders do go up. I'll say that.
Okay.
But the Bills are coming off a loss. I don't think they'll take that lightly. And I think they'll have a little bit more fuel going into this game. I'm picking the Bills.
Okay. All right. You're saying you don't know where the Broncos stand? I know where they stand. In the losing bracket because of the Raiders. What else we got, man?
Next, we have the Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads, going into Atlanta to face the Atlanta Falcons. The Packers are 1-0, coming off a bit of a dominant win against the Bears. The Falcons are also 1-0, coming off a win against the Panthers. Wow. What do you got on this one, man?
The Roger list. See how I came up with that? See how clever and witty I am? The Roger list. Huh? You heard it right here first.
Wow.
The Aaron Rodgers list. There's another team that's Aaron Rodgers as well, but we'll get to that.
Christopher
another one.
Columbus right here. Good job on that one.
Look, man, honestly, I was actually kind of impressed. I was impressed with the Packers. I really was, man. What they're doing out there on the field, I'm not gonna say, oh, man, these dudes are great, and they're gonna be, just as good as they should have been with Aaron Rodgers or anything. But I liked it. I think that, look, man. I know it's only week one.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing of like, oh, it's week one. Nobody should overreact, but you gotta you gotta react to the product that you see, right? So all we have right now is one game. You got to react to it. And from what I saw, hey man, I think these dudes can be some pretty good contenders, man, in the NFC. Oh, I'm no way am I going to pick them to win the NFC. I know, heck no. We'll get to that later on. Mm. But I think they could compete pretty good in the NFC, especially who do they got coming up?
The Falcons.
Oh, look, I got I got the Packers.
Well, like in the Packer video that I made before the season, I'm not really high on the Packers. They did look pretty impressive against the Bears, but it's against the Bears, okay? And they're going up against the Falcons. I do have them winning it, but it is against just the Falcons. They haven't. This isn't really much of a test yet, but I think the Packers start off 2-0. They showed enough to be able to obviously beat the Bears. I think they ride that ship and beat the Falcons, because they're kind of playing two teams, or they've played two teams that are still in rebuilding mode, especially the Falcons, man. I do not know where they're at all. I'm picking the Packers. I trust the Falcons more than I trust the Packers. My bad. I trust the Packers more than I trust the Falcons.
So you're saying the Packers played a bear with no claws and no teeth, and now they're going up against a Falcon that only has one wing?
A Falcon that does not know how to fly.
Falcon
with no wings.
Hey, Packers are going to be 2-0. Yeah. They are, man. And look, for whatever it's worth, even though those are not great teams that they're doing it, to me personally, I think there's some momentum that you can build off of that, man. A lot of good camaraderie and the team. Winning cures a lot, okay? It cures a lot. So even if you're winning against sorry-ass teams, it's bringing the team together. And I think this could turn them into a pretty good winning team, man.
And regardless, it does bring up your record. So, I mean, it's still a win. It still goes under the record. So
you could miss the playoffs by one game. So every game matters.
So we both have them going 2-0. Next, we have the Battle of California, something that happens twice a year. We got the San Francisco Santa Clara 49ers going into Los Angeles, or I forgot the name. Going into Los Angeles to face the Rams. The Niners are 1-0. Coming off a win against the Steelers. And the Rams are also 1-0, coming off a pretty good win against Seattle.
Okay. I know it's the home of the Raiders so far, but oh no, not this weekend. It's not. This weekend is Levi Stadium. It's Levi Stadium is picking up and moving down to the Inglewood area. Hey, look. We've been saying it ever since we've been doing Pick Six. Okay, the Rams have an okay fan base here in LA. They have an okay fan base. All right, I'm not gonna crap on them too much, but when certain teams come play here, it's a takeover, man. It is. Okay, the Niners are definitely one of those teams. The Niners, I'm gonna say there's probably more Niner fans in SoCal than there is Rams fans. Easily. So, but. Okay. When it comes to the Niners, first of all, congratulations on your victory, okay, against the Steelers. We'll get to that a little bit later. But look, man, the Niners are straight killers, okay? These dudes are straight killers, man. My goodness. After week one, honestly, I get it. It's just week one, but I'm going to react to what I saw in week one. And to me, right now, with just one game in, man, I think they're the favorite coming out of the NFC. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, that dude can burn, man. He turns it up. I mean, son of a gun, dog.
65-yard touchdown, man.
They made a movie White Men Can't Jump. I mean, they need to make a movie White Men Can't Run and have Christian McCaffrey just proving them wrong. And pow, dog. He's like Speedy Gonzalez. Son of a bastard, dog. He must be related to the Flash or something. But I definitely right now Brock Purdy, he's looking pretty. See what I did there?
That was good.
Okay, he's look, man. They're firing pretty damn good, man. I'm not gonna say they're firing on all cylinders, but they look like a pretty damn good oiled machine to me, man. And as of right now, they're my favorite in the NFC. Oh, who do they got coming up?
The Rams.
Oh, the Rams, right? The Niners.
Yeah,
Niners. You're gonna have that like 70% of the fans in SoFi happy after the game, and about 30% of them, sad because their Rams lost.
Well, let me talk about the Rams just a little bit because you're just more on the 49ers. The Rams did beat the Seahawks pretty good.
That's right. This was a 2-in-1 package. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, right.
The Rams did do all right. They did what they had to do to win. It's against the Seahawks. Don't really know where they stand because they did kind of exceed expectations last year. Don't think they'll do that again this year. I think the division's more for the Rams and the 49ers. They're going to battle out for the division. But wow, man. The 49ers dominated for 59 minutes of the game last week, with the exception of 1 minute. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care what team it is. I don't care if it's the 16th Cleveland Browns team from 2017.
All right.
You dominate the game for 59 minutes. That's just, I don't even know what else you could say there.
Both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball. They just dominated, completely dominant. And it was at Heinz Field. That's not an easy thing to do.
Mhm.
That's only happened a few times within the last decade. I'm going 49ers. And the reason why I'm going 49ers is who can beat the 49ers? They looked almost unbeatable. And I get it's only week one. Don't overreact to week one. But the 49ers have been good, and they've shown who they are this past week. And I see them winning the NFC this year.
Look, the Niners looked good last year. It's just they fell into the quarterback injury problem.
Exactly. And as long as that doesn't happen again this year, quite frankly, I don't know who beats them. I really don't. The Eagles could give them a run for their money. But I think the 49ers are the favorites, and I'm picking the 49ers in this game, man. I just don't have a reason not to pick the Niners.
Yeah, you know what? Let me go ahead and touch on the Rams because I didn't do that. Okay, so look, the Niners, in my opinion, they're going to win the NFC West. And I am favoring them to win the NFC completely. The Rams, who I believe is probably the only team that's going to give them a little bit of a problem. That being said, I just think they're gonna try to keep up with them a little bit, but they're not maybe a wild card in the NFC. I'm not really sure. Look, the Rams, they beat Seattle. I give them that. I picked them to do that. Again, Seattle. Look, I don't know if people are just thinking of the Seahawks from a few years back. Legion of Boom. But they haven't been that for a minute or two. I don't want to say that Seattle is a complete jobber, if I could use a wrestling term. Like they're a team that's just there to fill the 32 team roster. No. They're an okay, decent team, but I don't see the Seahawks, man, as some great team anymore. The way they used to be once upon a time. But nonetheless, I think the Rams are gonna do what they're able to do. But nonetheless, man, I just Niners all the way in that division. That's for dang sure. So
yeah. Like I said, They might get like 14 wins this year. I'm telling you, they looked really solid this
Yeah.
past week. Nothing but praise for the 49ers.
Yeah.
But next up, we got the New York Jets going into Dallas to face the Cowboys. The Jets are coming off a bit of a shocker win against the Buffalo Bills. Something happened, though. And the Dallas Cowboys, another team that just looked dominant last Sunday night against the Giants. But we'll talk about it because we're talking about the Jets now. Aaron Rodgers, who did not play that much against the Bills, is out for the season. The Jets went out of their way to get Aaron Rodgers just for him to be out for the season.
He got 4 snaps. 4. Not even, you know what 4 is? It's not even a full digits on my hand. 4. 4
It is
snaps.
if you're a Simpson.
It is if you're a Simpson. That's very correct. That's very correct. Maybe when we're in Springfield, we'll count it then. But Rodgers, at 39 years old, gets hurt on his 4th snap, and he's done for the season. Wow. Look, if you're a Jets fan, man, you're probably pretty upset. Or are you? Where's the name of the backup quarterback? I don't even know. But I thought he looked pretty good, man. He looked pretty comfortable. He didn't seem too shaken up, man. And when you get somebody, a future Hall of Famer, a living legend in the game, you're not really in practice thinking like, wow, I'm going to get some snaps. Like, oh, man, I got to be ready, because they're going to bench him and they're going to get me in there. Nah, that's probably not what you're thinking, especially in the first game. But he went in there and they got that victory. And, man, look, hey, Aaron Rodgers. Well, okay, let me ask you this. Is his career over?
Okay, so let's fast forward to next year.
Yeah.
All right.
He'll be 40.
Say Zach Wilson looks good and at least leads the Jets to the playoffs, okay?
Okay.
Maybe 9-8, 10-7. You have him as a starter for pretty much the whole year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You're the New York Jets. Are you going to risk having a 40-year-old quarterback who just came off of a surgery come back and lead your team after Zach Wilson does that? Yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers' stock really takes a dive. I don't see him coming back. 4 snaps is nothing. He's pretty much missing the entire season, so I think this might be it for him.
Yeah, I think it depends what happens with Zach Wilson. By the way, it's going to be hard to bench a guy like Zach Wilson because of his name. Zach Wilson just rolls off the tongue, man. It's just a badass name, Holmes. Zach Wilson. You know what I mean? Like, hey, who's your quarterback? Zach Wilson. That's a name that when you introduce yourself, you just don't say Zach. You say the whole name. Hey, how you doing? Zach Wilson. Bam, dog.
That's a strong sound.
It's a strong name. It's almost up there with Max Powers when Homer Simpson changed his name to Max Powers, man. But look, so the Cowboys. Look, the Cowboys. Okay, so last week we were saying, why the hell is this Sunday Night Football? Right? It should have been the Steelers and the Niners, which was a better game, by the way.
Somehow,
not by much though. Not by much. Holy smokes, dog. Look, if you're a Steeler fan, you were feeling it. But damn, what a boy. If you're a New York Giants fan, what the heck happened there?
Like I said, I don't know what to make of the
Giants. A divisional rival.
I don't know what to make of the Giants. Okay. They did give Danny Dimes his money. I don't know. I don't know. The Giants, I don't know what to say about the Giants, okay?
Could it just be a hiccup? Just one game? Could it?
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens. But, I mean, the let's give the Cowboys some credit. They looked great.
Yeah.
They looked great. They dominated the game. I don't know if it's saying more about how the Giants looked, because they did look really bad, or just how good that the Dallas Cowboys look. I don't know. But going into this game, I would even say both teams have some pretty nice wins. I mean, it was a close game between the Jets and the Bills, but they beat the Bills.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
in
they
overtime.
did. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
They held Josh Allen to only 16 points.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm giving the Jets some credit here. You know, and I'm down in the picks. I kind of have an idea of where you're going with this. I think I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm going to go for the upset here. I'm going to go for the New York Jets for no real reason. I just feel like Zach Wilson, you know, he was doing what he had to do to win against a really solid Buffalo Bills defense. I'm going Jets.
After your Hall of Fame living legend goes down.
Yeah.
That is impressive. But let's come back to terra firma that we know as Earth. Okay. There's that whole beginner's luck and everything like that. I say the Cowboys ground those Jets, man. Okay. Look, I'm a big fan of Top Gun. I love Maverick. Talk to me, Goose. But look, let's all chill out. Okay. It was a good win, good victory. And I do like the Jets. I think the Jets are going to do some good things. Just not this week. I go Cowboys.
Zach Wilson's been in the league for a few years. For like, I think this is his second season. They actually got
and what has he done?
Okay,
and what has he done?
They actually got Aaron Rodgers because of how bad Zach Wilson was doing. So that's kind of, I don't know. That's a story there.
Oh.
But Zach Wilson did what he had to do to win this past week. So next we have the Cleveland Browns walking into Heinz Field to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns are 1-0, coming off a very, very impressive win against the Cincinnati Bengals, only holding them to 3 points. Yes, the same Bengals team with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase on that offense. 3 points. Going up to play the Steelers on Monday Night Football, who are 0-1. Coming off a devastating loss, an embarrassing loss against the San Francisco Santa Clara 49ers.
Okay, Monday Night Football, here we come. All right, so this is an actual divisional game, okay? And if you go way back in the days, you know, this was a big rivalry, okay? It hasn't been a rivalry for quite a long time, at least not for Steelers. It hasn't. For the Browns, I'm sure they still think of it as a huge rivalry. However, look, the Browns have gotten better. They have gotten better. I'll tell you, man, if there's a fan, you know, fans in the league that you got to feel for, I think the Browns got to be somewhere up there, man, because they've just been terrible, man. But look, here we go, right? The Browns, they built that momentum, dominating a divisional rival in the Bengals. Yeah. A pretty good Bengals, by the way. The Bengals are not the Bengals from quite a few years ago. The Bengals have actually been pretty good of late. So they go in there and they smash them, right? They take care of business right there. Steelers, okay.
To tell two different stories here.
Okay, so high hopes for my beloved Steelers, okay? Good weapons.
Yeah.
Nothing that's very extraordinary, but a lot of good pieces that can make for a really good team.
Right.
What the heck happened? I got, like, I'm completely blanked out. I was like, okay, you know what? Score before the half is over, right? Because they had a goose egg. Right, against the Niners. So all I was saying, because I watched it with a bunch of Steeler fans, And I'm like, okay, as long as we score, because the game has not gotten away from us yet. I think at that point it was 17-0. I said, if we score one before we go into the locker room, we're good. We're in it. Bam, that happens. I'm like, good. Now I'm like Denzel Washington from Remember the Titans. It's our time. Second half is our time. Pow, man. Just complete dud. Don't score again. We don't even get in field goal range. Like, what the hell? They got in field goal range once and they went for it. They failed. You know what? I got a lot more to say, but go for it, man. Well, we got some significant injuries too. So it's not like, hey, man, you know what? Leave that behind us. And now we march forward. Oh, no, we got significant injuries in that game.
Right, like Cameron Hayward's going to be out for a few games.
Yes.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but he did suffer, I think, groin, or was that Cameron Hayward?
Well, Cameron suffered the groin injury. Word is he could be out for about 6 weeks.
Right. Big loss with Cameron Hayward. Wow, guys. Like I said, dominated for 59 minutes. I only say that because when the Steelers did score the touchdown, it was with 1 minute left in the second quarter. Look, here's my take on it. Matt Canada, I don't know why he's still offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It seemed like we were playing very conservative. But I will say Kenny Pickett did not look good. He was overshooting people. He was throwing it behind his receivers. Kenny Pickett was not on his A game. Okay. I just feel like everything was bad about this game except for TJ Watt. TJ Watt had 3 sacks?
Yeah.
And a strip sack, including a strip sack. He was the only one that seemed like actually wanted to win. Okay. The rest of the team, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were so pumped up, so hyped after that great preseason, which means nothing. Preseason means absolutely nothing. Okay? They look so great in preseason. You asked me this. After this week, nothing. It means squat. Okay? They looked terrible on offense. They looked very, very mediocre on defense. The only reason why I said they didn't look terrible on defense is because the offense was doing so bad that every single time the 49ers got the ball was good field position in the first half. Every single time. The punter, Presley Harvin, was punting from his own end zone or his own 10-yard line. That is not a recipe for success. They only had a single yard before that last possession of the second half where they scored a touchdown. A single yard in 29 minutes. That is embarrassing. I know it's against probably the best defense in the league, but guys, you got to step it up, man.
Unbelievable. Now, I saw a lot of bad things in the defense, but I don't want to trust the defense too much because they were out there the majority of the game.
Right.
Okay. That secondary, my goodness, they were getting picked apart. They really were, man. It's like guys were just the Niners receivers were open up all the time, man. That secondary was getting sliced apart. That being said, let's remember, offense was nothing but 3 and outs. 3 and outs, man. It's like the defense comes out, takes a little chug of water, takes one breath. All right, back on the field. Like, what the heck are you doing? And Matt Canada, I've seen enough. Yeah. Okay, he's been offensive coordinator since 2021. I've seen enough. We've talked about him before.
Yeah.
And somehow give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Like, is it really him? Is it really not him? I don't know. I've seen enough. Okay, fire this guy. And his last name is Canada. I don't know. Is he Canadian? It is the United States, Holmes. All right, go watch Caillou and coach a hockey team or something. Shout out to the Canadians. I love Michael J. Fox. But, dog, this ain't working, man. Your play calling sucks, okay? It sucks. Now, there was a rumor out there that Kenny Pickett had a concussion, okay? It's proven to be false because in the beginning of the game, when he got sacked, you saw the back of his head slam against the turf, right? And then it's like, oh man, maybe he was playing with a concussion. It's come out, he has no concussion. He's good. He's clear. Now, did it rattle him a little bit? Maybe so. The Steelers had possibly the greatest preseason of all time. And what did I say last week? I said, usually when they have now I'm not just talking about Steelers, I'm talking about in all of NFL. Usually when a team has a really good or great, in the Steelers' point, great preseason, they struggle in the regular season. Man, I hope all the struggling in this season was in this one game. It was completely pathetic. Pathetic. Offense couldn't get anything going. Defense held their own as much as they could until they got tired out, man. And like I said,
which was pretty damn quick.
Which was pretty quick. Yeah, it was. And, Cameron Hayward going down doesn't help. So, I mean, now it's like, I'm not really sure, man. Going into this season, I thought we were looking pretty damn good. Now, again, should we take into consideration that it's against the Niners? Yeah, definitely. But, you're going up against a pretty damn good team, and that's what you have to show for it. It's like, you're sorry as hell, man. What the heck are you doing?
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know what else to say about this game. I watched it with a couple Niner fans.
Oh, that's got to be rough.
Let's just say one side of the couch was really happy. I was not happy. Enough said. I don't want to. Like I said, I wanted to make a reaction video right after the game, but yeah, it would have been bad. Yeah. But it would have been a complete meltdown, and it would have been for the internet to see. But
yeah, kids might be watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to keep my image decent on here. But going into this game against the Browns, I'm be honest with you. If I wasn't a Steelers fan, I'd pick the Browns probably.
Okay, I wouldn't. If I were if I was not a Steeler fan, I'd probably pick the Steelers. But and as a Steeler fan, I'm gonna pick the Steelers. That's my pick. But if I were not a Steeler fan, I'd probably still pick the Steelers. But it wouldn't be an upset. I say the Browns keep this game very competitive. I think the Steelers win by one possession, possibly even a field goal.
Oh, man. As much as I say that the Steelers can bounce back from this isn't the same Steeler team from previous seasons. Mm-hmm. I did have high hopes, and I'm not going to make a complete overreaction because they did face the San Francisco 49ers, and they are front runners for even the Super Bowl. So, look, I just hope that it was one of those games where they were just, kind of arrogant, and they kind of let themselves, get into their own heads, and they just were overly confident, and they got humbled. I just hope that's what happened, So I hope they worked extra hard this week, and I hope they come out on top, which I know they can. I know they could beat the Browns.
And by the way, Matt Canada, I'm not saying he's Canadian. I'm just saying his last name is Canada. So I don't know, man. Because he's calling plays like from another sport or something. So look, man, I've seen enough from this guy. Get rid of him. Yeah. Fire him. He's done. Who's gonna be the new offensive coordinator? Just have Mike Tomlin do it. Get Big Ben. You know what? I was listening to Big Ben, right? And Big Ben Roethlisberger, and he said that it's a little bit different starting. We gotta understand. Okay, let's go ahead. And I'm not gonna make excuses, but I want to go ahead and break down a few things. Okay, Kenny Pickett did not start last season. Right. He wasn't the original starter. This is his first time ever starting a season, and he's starting it at home. Okay, I'm not making excuses. All right. But in a sense, he still is a rookie. This is not, oh, wait a second. He played last year. Yeah, but he didn't start last year. There's a little bit of a difference there. So maybe this is going to get, I don't know, the jitters out of him. I'm not really sure, man. But I know this kid could play better than that. I know this team could play better than that. So, no, I got Steelers winning this game, even if I weren't a Steeler fan. But I think it's going to be competitive.
I'm gonna be a biased Steelers fan, so I'm just gonna still go Steelers for no real reason. And look, I see people kind of blaming Kenny Pickett. I mean, we kind of make us Steeler fans kind of make it seem like we've never seen Big Ben struggle.
Oh yeah.
So that's the kind of the issue I have here.
Mm-hmm.
He was going against the top defense in the league, man.
Yeah.
It happens. Okay, you're just not gonna look great every single Sunday. Okay, unfortunately, first game of the season. So this is all we really have to show. I know Kenny Pickett's gonna play better ball this season, and that's really it, man. I have faith that the Steelers could go 1-1, beat the Browns, and go into Vegas the week after.
And we will leave it there. Monday Night Football, here we come. Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.